Hello, everyone. This is Bernie A from Top Level MMA. And today I am sitting with my brothers, Ron and Eric, talking about life through the Asian American perspective. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the show.
All right, guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We've got Miss Bernadette Ambubuyog. Bernie, thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
Can you just going to go over a little quick intro on you? You've been a psychiatric nurse for 30 years, proud mom of 3 beautiful children, owner of a family-run martial arts gym, Top Level MMA. Gym's a way to honor and continue the legacy of your late husband, Paul. Bernie doesn't define herself by titles or accomplishments. Instead, she describes herself as someone simply navigating through this life, seeking what brings her soul happiness so she can share that love and light with others. With over 22 years of martial arts training, Bernie holds a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Professor Adam Radzovic and a black belt in the Alpha Krav Maga system under George Burian. She also trained many years of Muay Thai and boxing. In addition to her role as coach and gym owner, Bernie has spent the past 4 years gaining experience as combat sports commentator, referee, and judge for various local fight promotions. Bernie believes her greatest accomplishments isn't found in titles or accolades, but in raising her children, navigating life after profound loss, and transforming pain into purpose. Bernie, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys. What an intro.
Yeah, it took us a while to get you in here. You're highly sought after. So
Thank you guys. It's such a busy schedule, but
yeah, I can't even imagine running your own business and stuff. So, it's funny is, Eric and I have had this show for a little bit, and people are always like, oh, you should have this person on the show, this person on your show, whatever. So my barber, I'm not going to call up my barber, but he's like, oh man, I saw this girl, she does this MMA stuff, and he's pulling it up on his Facebook, and it ends up being you. I was like, yeah, I've been trying to get this girl on the show for 2 months. I'm not going to call her.
oh, okay.
But I was like, yeah, she's supposed to be coming on in a couple of weeks. So glad you're here.
Thank you guys so much. And congratulations on your new podcast.
Oh, thanks.
Very nice.
Nope, thank you for coming out. You're right, like Mon said, it's been a while, but we made it work, so thank you. Let's see here. We can start up a couple questions. So you went to Lane Tech, grew up in the city?
I grew up in, the Portage Cragen neighborhood, but I was born in the Philippines.
Oh.
And I came here when I was 2. So my mom and dad were here, and my 2 older brothers were born here. And then when she was pregnant with me, she flew back to the Philippines, and then they left me there with my grandmother. So I grew up, and then they had to come back to work.
Sure.
So I grew up with my grandmother in the Philippines for 2 years, and then they brought us all to America. My grandmother, I guess they were petitioned, and then they were able to bring all 3 of us back. So I came here when I was 2. So essentially I grew up in Chicago since I was 2. But can I tell you, the whole citizenship thing, my mom and dad didn't apply for me when I turned 16. They thought I was automatic.
Sure.
So I dealt with that when I was 40, when I was going to go the first time out of the country, 40 or 30, I don't even remember. But they're like, where's your citizenship papers? I'm like, I go, my parents were citizens, so they must have it. And it turns out I was a permanent resident for all this time. So I had to hire an immigration lawyer, and I finally got my papers, but I don't think my parents knew that they had to do that because they were citizens already.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was kind of the same in my family.
Yeah.
Because I was born in the Philippines. My dad he left shortly after I was born, and he was here almost 2.5 years before he was able to bring my mother and me here. So spent all that time without us and stuff. But when I turned 6 years old, that's when I got my naturalization papers. So
so they knew what.
Yeah, so it was just when I look at my naturalization papers, it's got a 6-year-old photo of myself in there and stuff. It's a pretty good lens because I look nothing like that. So your career now, or before you opened up the gym and stuff, you're a psychiatric nurse by trade. How did you pick that profession?
So when I was in nursing school, I applied to work as a nurse tech, and they had a psychiatric, like assistant nurse there, and nobody wanted to work on the psych unit back then. And I'm like, I would love to. And in grammar school, for some reason, a lot of people would come to me with their problems, and so I felt like, sure, I'll do that. I'd love to do that. And so at 18 years old, I was working on a psych unit. And then when I graduated nursing school, when I was 20, I was a nurse. So for 30 years, I've been a psychiatric. That's where I met Eric?
Yeah, that's where we worked.
Yeah, we worked together.
Is that right?
Yeah, I wasn't the patient. We worked together.
I was going to say,
Just to make it clear.
I'm glad Eric was able to talk about his issues on there and stuff like that. So
Eric was security.
Yeah, well, no, it was different. But I mean, the difference between psych really is it's just like people in the real world. They're just in a locked environment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're amongst us
everywhere. So
health issues.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a few days away from getting
all right. I know.
So it's been a rough year. So.
I know, Ron.
So Bern, you went to nursing school where'd you go to nursing school?
So I graduated Lane Tech High School.
Right.
And Ron's also an alma mater of Lane Tech. Yeah. We just found out.
The condensed program.
Yeah, the condensed program. Yeah. And then right after that, I went to St. Francis Hospital, and they had a nursing program because at that time there was such a nursing shortage.
Yeah.
So I did that accelerated program, and it was a 2.5-year diploma program. So I graduated by the time I was 19, turning 20. And that's where I went, St. Francis.
Okay. Yeah, I think my sister went there.
She went to, they were Ravenswood.
I think St. Francis.
They don't even have these programs.
Right.
But it was tough. Like I had no break after high school. It was like nonstop nursing courses and then clinical. But the good thing about it is I graduated really early.
Got a good job right away.
For sure. And now I think you're required to have a bachelor's. I don't have a bachelor's, and I'm working in a master's program. So I got grandfathered in care,
That's
the care manager with all my years of experience.
That's great.
So when did so going to Lane, it's funny that you mentioned we were talking about Lane Tech. Actually, our last guest was Kerry Murakami. I don't know if you know him.
Cato?
Yeah, Cato. Yeah. We actually went to we're the same.
Oh, yeah.
So we actually, he's the good Asian. When finished school, and I did not, but another Lane Tech alumni. You're 2 in a row.
Yeah. Oh, so he went to, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, we were in algebra together freshman year, believe it or not, when he had hair.
Yes. Yeah. Asians in the math class. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Like Cato's doing combatants for LEO still.
Yeah. He's Eric's wearing his T-shirt right through training and stuff. He has a lot of classes for law enforcement. Now he's opening it up to civilians and stuff, which I think is great.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
So how did you get into, how young were you when you started in martial arts?
Oh, so my late husband, Paul, which Eric knew, and he's a good brother of your brother, Rich.
Yep.
He's a lifelong martial artist. And then when our kids, Leon and Marcus, turned 4.5, he put them in Taekwondo, and he said I should start training too. So I did. I started doing Krav Maga probably 23 years ago. So they were 4.5. They started Taekwondo, and Krav Maga was just coming to Chicago then. That's under Master George. Mm-hmm. So I started when I was like 27 with the kids, and I haven't stopped since.
And it was just strictly Taekwondo back then.
I didn't do Taekwondo. I did Krav Maga.
Oh, Krav Maga, I'm sorry.
It's a military self-defense training, which is like MMA for the streets. So I started doing that. That was my first martial arts. So that was everything. It was kickboxing, boxing, some grappling. And then from there, I progressed to training into Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So Krav Maga was my first martial.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, when
Ross.
yeah, at least I don't remember this, but 10, 15 years ago, Bernie says, "Come on by, just check it out." Thinking, okay, this should be all right. Walked in there, wasn't even thinking about taking the class. I did the class. Hour and a half? I told Bernie after class I was going to throw up. I was spent. I was sore. I was going to throw up. And I didn't even need anything to drink. I wasn't planning on working out, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is some tough ass shit.
You did it first.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And then, and I don't know why. Honestly, I think.
I mean, life gets in the way.
My life gets in the way. And I think, the personnel changed at that facility in the past. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of why. But yeah, I took Master George's class, and his idea of fun is seeing you. I mean, he put in the work, but he tells you this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Well, it was tough part.
So this martial art, it's like a survival skill. So they want you really to go through the ringer when you're training. And then when I progress out to Muay Thai, you're calmer. They want you to focus more on technique. But this is more self-defense stuff. So they don't want you to train soft,
Sure.
Yeah.
You train like you fight.
Yeah.
It's funny. My brother, obviously, was into that, jiu-jitsu stuff. And I'd watch some of his tournaments and stuff. And just, watching these kids, doing this stuff, or watching these guys, and everybody's so unassuming, you know what I mean? When it comes to,
100%.
because like you walking down, approaching me in the alley and you ask for my lunch money, I'd probably just give it to you. I was like, I'm not messing with this. But, some of these kids are, just regular looking kids, and then I see them, put somebody in a submission. I was like, oh, yeah, this is why I carry a gun. You know what I mean? Because I would never last.
Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. I just, it's a sport that I wish my knee would hold up for and stuff like that, because I see how effective it is and stuff like that. So, but what put you in that direction of, going more towards MMA and stuff like that?
Well, when you progress in the lifestyle, you want to learn more about all the different martial arts. And my children train everything as well. Leon had an MMA fight, and he's the head instructor at top level right now. So this is his career. And this is what I wanted to leave for my children, to have something special in their life, not just working as whatever. Like my daughter's in school to be a physical therapist, and that's fine. But sometimes that direction, like just being a nurse, it's a lot of stress. You know what I mean? So this is like the other avenue of your life. So I really wanted to dedicate our lifestyle to honor Paul, number one, and just to have a healthy lifestyle. Filipinos love to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep your body healthy. Everything starts from the inside. So I always try to encourage people, try martial arts. It's intimidating if you've never been in that type of environment before. An MMA gym sounds like you're going to get your ass beat every day. Sure. Which you do, but it's in a controlled setting, and it makes your mind 100% stronger. It gives you all the confidence. It's a skill that you wouldn't think you'd be able to do. And when you do it, you're so empowered. So I encourage, I get a lot of people that like you say, they're so unassuming. There's so many different walks of life. There's, have women that are newly divorced and they just want to get their life back in order, give them some confidence and learn self-defense. And they end up being some of the most killers on the mats and most dedicated mentally. But before that, they were like very timid and, not a lot of confidence. And now they walk with their head high. And that's what I went into it for. Not really for the competition part, which a lot of people testing themselves, but more for giving you an avenue to number one, release stress and to build confidence within yourself. It's very empowering. If you guys have never done it, you have to try and find a local gym. So is Rich still competing?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I've been lost track with him as well.
Yeah, life is busy and stuff, and it's hard to always keep up with family and stuff like that.
So it's an MMA gym. How did you decide to have an MMA as opposed to a certain discipline, just specifically like Taekwondo?
Well, we train in all the disciplines.
Right.
And really, the big fad now is UFC and all. To me, I believe in all the different martial arts. So I didn't want to focus on one thing.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai are the two most popular. So that's what we focus on the most, for sure.
Do you think it's the most practical in terms of like in terms of life needs and experiences, or?
That's a very good question. I think Krav Maga has a lot of good, there's a lot of different avenues in all the martial arts that I would like to use.
Right.
In self-defense. As a woman and a small person, I can't do all of the Gracie combative jiu-jitsu where they're throwing a guy over their back. But if you practice that a lot, you will be proficient.
Right.
In Krav Maga, there's a lot of strikes involved and just very quick reaction.
Right.
So there's a lot of perspectives I loved in Krav Maga. And then just Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu in general, just knowing stand-up and ground fighting is all good. So I think any martial arts is amazing.
Better than no martial arts.
Right.
Basically what it comes down to. Right. Awesome.
That's a good question. A lot of people talk shit about other martial arts.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know there's still, you drive around, there's Taekwondo schools, karate schools.
Yeah.
Even in your school, just teaches a bit of everything, which is good.
Awesome. So full-time nurse, I'm assuming.
I was full-time for a long time. I just dropped to half-time.
And then what made you and Paul decide, you know what, let's open up a place?
So this was Paul's dream for a long time. He has a background in IT and he got laid off. I remember this was before that. Remember that recession we had? I don't even remember. Times in the past before COVID is all people are.
I don't remember what happened yesterday. So, that's.
Yeah. So
brain fog.
laid off and there was an opportunity where he wanted to pursue opening a school because he's been he loved Bruce Lee and he's trained at, I forgot what that place was called in Lincoln Square where everybody was Burger Can.
Stegerberg.
Yeah.
That's still around?
Yeah, it's still.
Oh, that's still on. Okay.
That was a huge school that had a blend of martial arts. And Paul started back then and he did Kali, Filipino martial arts for a long time. So he's always wanted to open a school. So when he got laid off, we pursued doing that. He had a partner at the time and I was still working full time, but I supported him. And of course you have to have money to start a school. So I ended up working full time to be able to pay our mortgage and all the bills and our 3 kids. But I supported him and it was all a blessing. Like I believe everything happens, he got laid off. So that's when he had the opportunity to open a school.
Sure.
But that's how that happened.
And where's the school located at?
We're in Niles, 9110 Gulf Road in Niles, right by Omega Restaurant. And there's
The Omega.
Yeah. There's Barbecue Garden. There's a bunch of restaurants around.
Yeah, they all change every now and then.
Yeah.
The Omega brings back some memories and stuff
That's
like
the
that.
staple in Niles, I think.
And that's been your only location so far?
No, before that, we were 13 years more towards Jefferson Park at 7038 Milwaukee. Somebody bought that plaza, and then we had to move after 13 years. So it's a good move. We're a little bit closer north to the suburbs now, near Des Plaines and Park Ridge. And we're in that plaza. So we're more visibility. We lost a little bit of gym space, so I'm still getting used to it. But it's a cute new change.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
You guys should come and try a class.
Maybe after my knee replacement, I'll.
I need a knee replacement too.
I'm bone on the inside of my right knee. So I got to do a partial knee replacement. They said I still have full mobility for 15 years, after a knee replacement. So
Yeah, they told me not to have one yet. Mine pops in and out when I'm training.
I'm always at a 7 walking around, and I walk around a lot.
Is that
at my job?
wear and tear, or were you like
Yeah,
or just
we were just joking around about this with Carrie's. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's like an orchestra with all the creaks and cracks getting out of bed and stuff. So it takes a lot, getting around and stuff. And plus, I'm wearing all this equipment at work, my vest, my duty belt, and all that stuff, and getting in and out of squad cars. I'm not young anymore. So, I mean, Eric and I are on this path, working out and trying to, stay above ground a little bit longer and stuff like that.
Even if you have to start by just walking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In our older age, I was told like you have to lift weights to maintain
muscle tone, strength,
resistance training. Yeah. Yeah.
And that'll help your metabolism and everything that goes south after 40 years old.
Oh, yeah. You gotta kind of stay on top.
Yeah.
And that's, it's like I actually tried one. They have this new scale at our gym, and I'm gonna go get one of these DEXA scans. I was talking to Eric about it. We get like the exact numbers, but according to this machine, it's pretty complex. And you take your shoes, socks off, step on these pads, and hold on to these other pads with your hands. And it says my body fat percentage is like 19%. I don't think I was at 19 since I was in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And working out with my nephew over the summer to get him started, working out in the gym and stuff. I was like, it's starting to pay off, and I try not to eat like an asshole every day.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I know the rice cooker is out. I don't know if you saw that in the kitchen, but that was just like a special cheat meal.
Yes.
So my wife made some pork chops and stuff like that. So,
gosh. Wait, that scale, I heard about that scale. It's pretty accurate.
So DEXA?
Well, the DEXA scan is, because you're laying on a table and it gives you, how much of your body is muscle, how much is fat. And the one important thing is the visceral fat. So the visceral fat is the fat that guys with the belly, and it collects around your major organs, and, and that causes, infection and disease or inflammation, disease and stuff like that. And mine was high last time, so
9% is pretty good.
Yeah. So look, I'm hoping it's pretty accurate when I go get my DEXA scan next month and stuff like that. And I mean, if it's, if I'm at 19%, I'll probably be on here bragging about it and stuff.
What's your
we don't want to know yet. Well, honestly, I want to schedule for the DEXA cam. I can't lie to myself anymore. Yeah. Because we're at the point where I'm like, dude, it is what it is. And, now's the time to change it if you can.
Yeah.
So for me I'm a numbers guy. If I see the numbers, then I think it makes it a little bit easier to try to have your goals.
Yeah.
Because you know where you stand. I think not knowing is kind of just putting things off. So
part of that is trying to eat healthy, but, there's so much good food up.
Yeah. And being Filipino,
every Filipino party and the whole core of it is food and eating and laughing and drinking even.
Yeah.
But, once in a while you have to enjoy. But overall, every day you just have to, eat a well-balanced diet.
Yeah, I try to stick to that one cheat meal a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One or two and stuff like that. And definitely yesterday was one of my cheat days with rice and my meals. And had an IPA with chips and guac. So I was like, all right. I think
it's Sunday fun day.
Yeah, exactly. And I was off. So it was kind of, I didn't really want to do anything. I didn't even want to leave the house. Had I not had to go into work for a couple hours just to qualify some people on the range, I would have never left the house. So,
yeah. So Bernie, obviously you are comfortable in front of a mic, behind the mic, actually. You've been doing commentating?
Yeah, commentating, man. That was not easy. That opportunity was brought to me by Brian Angelo, who's a Filipino, Asian American as well. And he owned Fight Card Entertainment at that time. And he asked if I wanted to do a comedy. And this was their second show after COVID came back. And I was like, I would love to do it. I've never done it. But at that time, Christian Reynoso, who's one of my broadcast partners, he's huge in the scene right now. He was going to be there, so I felt very comfortable with him. Where he's a lifelong martial artist as well, so we've been doing a lot of shows together since then. And since then, I started doing a referee.
Right, awesome.
Which I did that as a coach to learn about rules and stuff like that. And they're like, you should do the referee course. And then opportunities came to try and practice.
Right.
So that I'm very grateful for. And back in the day, I was saying I probably would have not done that offer because I was so nervous about it.
Right.
But lately, I feel like, life, you could die tomorrow, and I don't want to live in regret. So any opportunity that comes to me now, I take it. And it's, back when I was younger, I was so shy.
Right.
Now I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So everything I can, because everything's out there. Cancer's out there. You know, people are getting into accidents and die. So I want to be able to have a fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Good way to look at it. And you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, I've gotten to a point, you know, I lost someone pretty important to me late last year and stuff like that. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen. And so now I've gotten to a point where I'm at that age where, you know, guys we know are just dropping, you know, and we had talked about, Eric and I have talked about this before. It's like you see, when it comes to these reunion parties and stuff, it's just like, you know, well, these guys haven't really kept in touch with me before, you know, and then the sad part is you only see a lot of these guys when you go to wakes, funerals and stuff. So it's kind of a, you know, it's just one of those things, you know what I mean? So that's why when I think of somebody now, you know, someone crosses my mind, I've been talking to them. Yeah, I'm horrible at texting. Everybody that knows me knows I have like a 3 text rule. Anything long, it's going to take longer to tell me 3 texts and just pick up the phone and call me because I'm not 15, you know.
Yes.
15 years old texting on my phone and stuff, doing Snapchat or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to make that phone call just to say, hey, you know, whatever, you know, what are you doing? Just thinking about you, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because oftentimes it's too late, and I know just things like that happen. My cousin, her husband just passed away. I don't know if you know, it's Ray Distor's. Ray Distor's part of that dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think I just met him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
They had a big reunion last month.
Yeah.
I was in town.
Well,
yeah. As you said, everybody that hadn't seen each other since high school got together. But anyway, Ray married my cousin Abby, and her 2 sisters. They lost both of their husbands in this past year. They had some sort of colon cancer, and they were both healthy. You know what I mean? So sometimes it doesn't even really matter what you, I mean, it does matter your lifestyle, but something could still happen. So they both lost their husbands, and they were both young in their 40s, and they were both healthy. So that's when I'm like, enjoy every day. Like it's your last.
all right. We had Dr. Ed on here, and we're talking about medical issues and men's health and stuff like that. It's just, you know, so much anxiety, you know. It's like you go to the doctor's office and you're like, well, what are they going to find next? You know what I mean? What do I have to do? I mean, I got stuff that I'm dealing with now, you know, and so far it's been a good prognosis, but, you know, I got my follow-ups coming up next month. It's just like, you know, it's just so much anxiety building up to that. And I just like, you know, I try not to worry about it because what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I try to try to get to the gym and, you know, try to, you know, make as many memories as I can with the people that are in my life and stuff. So, but, you know, I saw a lot of videos taking at your gym because you post quite a bit on your social media and stuff. And it seems pretty successful. When you and Paul first started, did it go as planned?
Yeah, there's a big demand for martial arts, but part of that is your culture at the gym. You know, you have to it's a service to the community. So you have to have a good personality.
Sure.
You know, we're not a huge competition school, so we usually direct people to other places if that's what they want to do. We do competitions, but our training is more for the everyday people. Mm-hmm. Like you said, if you're training so hard every day, you're not going to last. You know, sure. Getting your head beat in. It's a combat sport, so I do want people to feel how it is to get hit and how to react to it, or, you know, how to feel confident in a combat type of situation, but everything is done safely. So it was successful. It is successful. But to be able to pay the bills, I still have to work at the hospital because this is more for my children to be able to also make a living and sustain it.
Sure.
If it was my choice, I wouldn't want to work at the hospital anymore. Eric made a choice and left for a better lifestyle because working in the hospital, as you know, and your job is so stressful.
Yeah, I quit I retired as soon as I could.
Oh,
my first. Yeah. And I just went back full time in 2 years ago now. So I retired from my first department in 2021 and I just went part time and that.
Yeah, it makes a difference, right?
Yeah, you know, it did. You know what I mean? So it's just things lined up for me. You know, I turned 50. I was a top pay for sergeant. So, you know,
Wait, are you back in the field now, or
Yeah, oh, yeah, I went back full time, but now I'm working at a university. They're university police, so it's like a step up above mall security. So it's different environment.
so in the streets?
Well, I'm on campus. You know what I mean? Driving, so and it pays pretty well.
Oh,
so
that's good.
on top of my pay, so I've been pretty grateful to my my lot in life and stuff like that. And plus, when you're we were talking about this earlier, Eric and I, before you got here, was, I'm no good by myself unsupervised at home. I need some place to go, just the anxiety of just, stuff that's been going on and stuff. I need some sort of structure to get out there and have a place to go at a certain time, and get through my day. Otherwise, I'm sitting around and trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the day is kind of,
No, it
got a big cause for panic attacks and stuff like that.
So that's exactly what your school does, though. You have a place for people to go.
yeah, I know.
A place, camaraderie. And I noticed in your t-shirts in the past is La Familia.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone who joins or comes is part of your family.
100%. Everybody who walks through that door, I genuinely care about and I love them. And they, I feel like I see them more than my own immediate families.
Right.
Because they're there every day.
Right.
And it's a sanctuary and a stress reliever for them when they're like on vacation or if they're injured. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to come back.
Right.
And that's the environment I do want to create.
Yeah, because I remember when you were moving from your old spot to your new spot, you put memberships on hold until you got established, which I know was causing you anxiety because you want to get open right away. You want to keep people back in.
The income would stop. My gosh, it was so stressful.
Yeah.
It all always works out.
And from like what Ron said from your videos, you got a lot of people that go to the school. The classes you have, it looks like a full house every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. And we're so blessed for that because as you guys know, a business can shut down in
Right.
a month or two,
Right.
But as long as you love what you do and you're genuine about what your goal is,
Right.
it'll be successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think you and your sons and your daughter, obviously everyone who comes here there sees that.
Yeah.
So, it's a good place for them to obviously train and have a feeling of community and family. So I think.
And there's this balance sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I should be there all the time, but then there's times where I'm like, I need to just relax because I feel so tired and burnt out.
Well, yeah.
Well, when I'm there, I'm not burnt out, but I just have to have the different elements of my life not be put on hold.
A balance of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I got to do yoga sometime during the week to like decompress.
Yeah. Well, I tried yoga for the first time last week.
He was talking.
Yeah.
It was basic yoga.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. Just
I was so sore, hurting for days.
yeah, definitely. Yoga's not easy, but like we do it in the dark and it's very zen.
Yeah.
And as Ron said, our bodies be creaking.
Yeah. No.
So if I don't do it, my whole body locks up. I got to do it at least once a week.
What do you call it? Is a yogi the instructor? Is for a yoga instructor, whatever?
Yeah.
She's like, we're going to activate muscles you probably haven't used in a while. I go, we activate muscles I didn't even know I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's great. I think,
It's good for flexibility.
you're right. I think at this point, any kind of movement is key.
Yeah. I mean, they have it on YouTube. We could do it at home. So like embarrass myself. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nobody really cares, to be honest. Everybody's so zen in there. They're not going to look at you and be like, look at that guy. You can't even twist.
No. That's how I felt because there's a mirror there.
You're sweating.
There's sweating there and there's a mirror there. And I'm watching everyone in their poses and stuff. I'm like, I can't do that.
I know.
Yeah. My pose looks nothing like that.
It's the complete opposite of what that should be.
It's hilarious.
You'd hear me whining and whimpering in the corner because I'd take a spot that like, oh my God, who's whimpering back there?
Yeah. So anyway, that was my experience with yoga. And you're right. I think the more you do anything,
Yeah, for sure.
you get better at it. But it took me a week to get over pain and the soreness. So I'll go back sometime.
Yeah, go back. Just keep going. Like that is one thing I think helps mentally and it's physically also helping your body. I mean, a lot of the martial arts is in general, but yoga is just so chill.
Right.
that's a good centering for yourself. And we all need more of that.
Right. It was a humbling experience for sure. So
Yeah, you won't catch me at a yoga.
Yeah.
So unless they get the free taco truck, and
yeah.
I'll do that for some tacos.
You would love it, Ron. Try it on a
No, it's hard enough stretching in between my workouts when I go to the gym.
Oh my gosh, stretching is so important.
Yeah. So being a pretty inclusive gym, talking about family and stuff and welcoming everybody to your gym. What else sets you aside from the other? I mean, because everywhere you turn is a martial arts school, whether it's Hapkido, Taekwondo, your MMA gyms. Everybody I know, except for me and maybe Eric, don't do jujitsu. You know what I mean? I mean, what sets you guys apart from all of that stuff?
In our gym, I mean, every gym loves their members, of course, but in our gym, we treat everyone the same. Like sometimes gyms treat their competitors with more respect and more attention because they're high-level competitors. But to me, the person who just joined is getting as much attention as my senior student who's been with me for 15 years.
Sure.
Just making everybody feel like they're important and special and that they're doing great, and whatever direction they need to improve, everybody's getting the same attention there. And part of that is being a smaller school. If you have a school that has 400 students, you're not going to get that much attention. So it really depends on what kind of goals you have for yourself. But because it's family run as well, everybody is treated like family there.
Nice. And you have a set of instructors, or are you doing all the instruction yourself?
No, I only have one class a week. When Paul passed away, I ended up doing most of the admin stuff, which I never wanted to do.
Sure.
I hate that stuff.
Any business owner.
Yeah. So part of it is like the social media marketing. Like I said, I post, like, social media is my most marketing that I use for the school. There's a lot of people that pay for social marketing or social media marketing, which we probably should do, but mine is mostly on our.
Sure.
But Leon is the head instructor there. I have Coach Chris Albandia, who is a special ed teacher at Glenbrook South, and he's a wrestling coach there. He teaches 3 times a week. Marcus is my second son, who runs the children's program, and Coach Judy trained with us. Her family trains with us. She helps with the kids program. And then Coach Vince, who was a Taekwondo instructor for many years, is also teaching the kids program with us as well. And then I have one of our students, Jeremy, who's running the striking program. And then one of my homegrown black belts, Rafi, is also teaching jiu-jitsu. So these are all people that I've known. I've tried to hire people on the outside, and it's not the same. You have to have the same culture,
Same mindset.
same culture and mindset. So these are the people that are my core people.
How would you attract women into the world of martial arts and self-defense? Because I know a lot of people who want to learn how to do it but are intimidated by it,
Right.
because they think they're not big enough, not strong enough.
Yeah, it's scary. My experience was when I started doing jiu-jitsu in particular, there's 2 females out of probably 200 men. And I just stuck with it. I'd make the sign of the cross every time I go into class, hoping I wouldn't get injured. And just even being respected as a woman in the martial arts was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because it's a school ran by a woman, a lot of people feel comfortable just trying it. And a lot of that is expressed through my social media.
Mm-hmm.
When I see 2 of my girls doing a good job, I'll put them on a video. And right now, I just have this video of one of our students, Laura, she's a teacher. She's so quiet and unassuming, but she's done 2 Muay Thai scrimmages already, or competition smokers she's done.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues to work hard. She gets very anxious when she gets hit hard, but now she's going forward. Like, that to me is a warrior as much as somebody who competes at the high level,
Right.
testing herself.
Right.
I did a couple of women's self-defense seminars, and there was a ton of women that came, and some people joined that.
Right.
And then I did one for a group of new college girls who are going to college at, your university campus public safety person. There's a lot of crime on there. So we did a lot of scenarios and just basic combative. And they did awesome. You would think these girls don't know, but they have a lot of fierceness in them.
Sure.
Right.
So it is good to train somewhere. But ultimately it's their choice of trying to find a school and doing a trial class and see what they're comfortable with and what culture they agree with.
Right. But I think it probably builds confidence.
100%.
To me, that, I got 2 daughters. So, right. So, not only do I think they should be able to handle themselves well, but it's a confidence thing, right?
It's for not only self-defense, but just the empowerment of what you think you can do.
Right.
It's crazy what I see, the discipline and the confidence that I see in children,
Right.
and in women. It's amazing.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah, my parents put us, I don't know if my brother told you this, but, me, my brother and sister, when we were kids, put us all through the whole Taekwondo thing. And, we did that for a few years and stuff. And I think that's a good, starting point, because later on, then I went into Muay Thai, my brother's obviously, and, doing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA stuff and training and stuff, so I think, getting kids in there early, giving them a basis so they can see, because you're right, you do want to train in all the disciplines, and you start seeing stuff, that looks pretty effective. And then, you learn all these different disciplines and you kind of meld it into this MMA. Yeah, exactly. So, every situation on the street is obviously going to be different. And certain things will be able to be applied and others, not so much, you know what I mean? So,
A lot of parents put their kids in because they're having a hard time disciplining them.
Oh, yeah.
They don't listen, or they have a lot of this energy that they need to burn off. So Taekwondo I think that's excellent for them because they're pretty strict, with the what it was called, the forms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all of that.
Forms.
They're like, you got to be really strict. So Marcus is really good. Marcus is a good balance of having fun and being strict. And Paul was excellent at that. He was the one that kind of, taught them that. For me, I never wanted to teach the kids because I beat all their asses. Like,
sure. Yeah.
I'm helping him, and I
Whose little bastard is this?
But now I love them. They're the cutest thing. And you can't help but laugh at some of the stuff they say.
Sure.
But sometimes they're in those moods and they're having a meltdown. And I was going to be like, get your ass up. But no. Marcus has a good balance. All of them do. Coach Judy and Coach Vince, they have a good balance of like staying calm and trying to calm the kids down. Or I don't know if I have.
Yeah, it's got to be a pretty high tolerance level
For sure.
to do kids classes, kids anything. You know what I mean? Just having kids on its own.
And Paul kind of mentored one of our teammates, Alex, who runs Bel Air Jiu-Jitsu, and he teaches Jiu-Jitsu for neurodivergent kid, a lot of on the autistic spectrum. Who wants to do that? That's a beautiful thing to do for the community. His school is in Lincoln Park.
Oh, nice.
So that's a wonderful program, if parents are looking to put their kids into that.
For like autistic kids on the spectrum and stuff.
Yep, it's solely for that.
Well, that'll get you a head of line pass, getting into heaven. You know what I mean? Doing something like that.
It's true.
Yeah. So Bernie, when you're not in the hospital and you're not in the school, what do you do? What do you pass time with in order, to relieve stress from dealing with business?
Yeah. So I at heart, I'm an introvert. I don't know if anybody knows. Everybody thinks I'm an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So after I have like a big show, the next day I need to chill, and I like to be at home alone. And just catching up with housework and stuff like that. But I do incorporate like yoga and fitness whenever I'm off. And there's a lot of things I need to do. I need to get my house in order. I have so much, even just laundry that's piled up because I'm never home.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. And then there's times where I don't want to do that. I just want to relax and recover from everything. I always try to find time to see my sister and my niece and my mom and my brothers. because I hardly see them. We all live in the same, she lives in Morton Grove. My brother lives in Skokie, and we see each other once a month.
Right.
If so, so I try to connect with my immediate family.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, but there's 100% time where I need to make for myself to recover.
Absolutely.
From social stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with doing nursing part-time now and having a busy schedule at the gym and the rigors of the physical activity of being at the gym, how do you find yourself trying to keep up, along with the yoga and decompressing at times? I mean, you got to like all right, I got to do this. I got to be at the gym here and work on myself here. You know what I mean? Because I don't count like when I do my firearms training, when I'm training class, that doesn't count as my training. You know what I mean? I got to do my own thing to keep my skill set, where I want it and stuff. So how do you keep up with, hey, we were talking about getting older and stuff and the creaks and the cracks and stuff. So
I really have to listen to my body. Like today, I know I have to do yoga. There's a million other things I have to do, but I think I'll feel better about that after I do yoga.
Sure.
Your podcast was a priority for me.
Thank you.
Like it took a month for us to get together.
Because I was at the point of calling you every day. So I was like, she doesn't come this week. I'm gonna be that guy. Hey, it's Rod again. Not sure if you're getting my text messages.
Well, I'm glad I'm here with that. But what I never did when I was younger was put myself first. My kids always came first. And I don't even know if they realize that. But now that they're older, I try to do stuff more for myself. Like, even for this podcast, I'm like, I could do it here, but I'm not going to be in a good mindset because I'm going to be tired from this,
Sure.
Sometimes on my phone, I have to list what I have to do for the day because I'm not a person that plan. Like, my sister's OCD. She'll plan like super wonderful agenda, but I live by like day by day. And that probably kills her, but it helps my sanity. I can't be too rigid in time and planning, even though it's a good quality they have, but you can't stress yourself out about it.
Right.
The people that have OCD are really stressed out if something's not going to schedule.
Yeah, no, for me most of the time, my tomorrow is based on what I didn't do today.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's.
So I would be lost if I lost. I'm old school. I still have a plan. A book.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no,
because I'm at that age where I walk into a room and I'm like, why did I come in here? I know I was supposed.
Yes.
And the one thing I make a regiment is like putting out like my medications in the morning. Even though I don't take them all in the morning, I put them on the counter, and so I know that I have to take them and stuff. Even though I know in my head, at this time I gotta do this, after my meal I gotta take this or whatever. Sucks getting old.
Yeah.
You don't have a pill box?
No, I refuse to get a pill box. So I roll all my stuff up in a napkin and I keep it in my back pocket. Hopefully I don't sit on it too long. But like yesterday, wife's gone all day, you know what I mean? Helping her sister out. And my commander calls me and he's talking about, things, for coming in later on today, to qualify, some of our officers with their rifles and stuff. And then we got off the phone. I was like, I totally forgot I had to go in, so I was,
thanks for
I was like, hey,
finding me there.
I got to go in later and go to the range and qualify some people. I forgot that I signed up for that. I got asked to do that and stuff.
Yeah, that's part of aging, right? There's sometimes there's words that I forget in mid-sentence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I better take my Geritol vitamin.
I didn't even know about the words brain fog till like the last couple of years. Like, what does that mean?
Brain fog era.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out.
Yeah.
I don't even, my mom's 80. I don't even know how she still goes to Costco. I am short of breath every time I go to Costco. The place is huge. You have to buy so much big stuff.
Right.
And I don't know how my mom does it.
Yeah, that's crazy. She's still driving around at 80.
She had to have a renewal, so they test her.
Yeah.
And thank God she passed, but I see her, she has a little bit of brain fog still.
Yeah, my aunt, my mom, towards the end, she couldn't drive. She had medical issues and stuff, and she was a nurse. And but even when she was still driving. You know, because, you know, like every other Filipino mom is a nurse, you know what I mean? But her problem was when my father passed away, because my brother and I, my brother told you this, we grew up in the West Side. And even after my father passed, my mom didn't want to move out of the West Side. That was her home. So thank God I was living in Oak Park, you know what I mean? And a lot of times I work afternoon shift as a, you know, when I was a detective, I was mainly on afternoons, but she'd work the midnight shift, which means she'd have to get in her car, you know, 10 o'clock in her driveway in a horrible neighborhood, you know what I mean? And drive to St. Mary's, you know, on Division and Western, you know what I mean? In the middle of the night, you know, so here's this old Filipino lady, you know, driving, and I'm just like, and I was like, you got to move out, you know, you move in with us or whatever. She didn't want to leave that neighborhood and stuff like that, you know, and it's just, you get older and then your parents, you know, are stuck in their ways, you know, especially being immigrant parents, you know what I mean?
Survived it.
You know, so it's just kind of, you know, stressful and stuff. But I still had, you know, one of my aunts, she's still in the area and stuff. And I see her driving. I was like, yeah, I'm almost tempted to send something to the Secretary of State to retest my aunt. It's just brutal.
Sure, they're slow.
It's like,
The reactions are slow. So I worry that someone's going to beep at my mom, but she passed the renewal. I know. And she only goes pretty local. She has to go somewhere first. She'll call us or, you know, her sister, who's like 10 years younger than her, which is still kind of old. But,
yep. Speaking of older, we're trying to get, who's the lady we were trying to get in here? What, Veronica Late. You know, have you ever heard?
Yes.
You know, so
She live here.
she's way up north, but she doesn't drive it. You know, she's got to drive. And we're trying to schedule her to come in here, and she's had me on her little show. You know, through webcam and stuff like that. She did interview. Actually, her and her late husband interviewed me a couple of years ago when I was still with the Asian American Law Enforcement Association. So they've been big supporters of me. And then, but I wanted to bring her on the show because she's just an interesting lady and she's like a staple in the Filipino community and stuff, you know. So, but, you know, it's just, you know, it's just trying to get in here, logistics, trying to get her driver to come in here. You know what I mean?
Great on this show.
Speaking of the Filipino community, I saw you guys just had a little fundraiser at the Rizal Center.
Oh my gosh. So I haven't been to the Rizal Center since high school.
Yep.
And somebody that I trained with at New Breed, Gabriel Clarito, started a jujitsu program there for the community. So they brought jujitsu, which is so huge, to Rizal, and people can take classes for free.
Oh, nice.
Him giving back to the community. And this was a fundraiser to help, you know, get better equipment or help. Rizal hasn't changed for 40 years.
I was just there a couple months ago for their reunion party.
Oh, really?
Well, I just did I got the security company because they needed security for the place and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it looked exactly the same as it did 40 years ago.
Exactly.
And so this was a fundraiser to help, you know, build this program and just help build some upgrades to the place. And it was, you know, the Filipinos came together. It was beautiful. It was so fun. Filipinos and jiu-jitsu are pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful community. And I made a post about that. That's part.
Yeah. So we did.
You're in that area and you want to try to take jiu-jitsu, go to that place. They're offering free classes, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Classes are like $200 a month at any other local gym probably. And he's doing that for the community. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is else?
Well, I mean, yeah, from your post, looked like a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, Bernie, you know, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you. You've got a busy schedule, school, work, family, but you made time for us today, so we appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So
yeah, you know, I echo that. I mean, we've been trying to get you on the show, so I didn't want to be that guy. So I'm glad you came on and stuff. You know, it's finally good. Great to finally meet you in person and stuff like that. And, you know, my brother's got nothing but nice things to say about you guys. And, you know, listen, I see you got a big social media footprint. You know what I mean? I see that stuff all the time. So you're doing a pretty good job in putting your stuff out. Why don't you give everybody the name of your gym and where it's located again? And
So my gym is Top Level MMA, and we are at 9110 Gulf Road in Niles, Illinois. We're right by Omega Restaurant in that plaza. My Instagram handle is, we have a gym page, Top Level MMA. Follow us on there. My handle on IG is Lee Marks Mimi. So those are the initials of my three kids, Leon, Marcus, and Moore. So Lee Marks Mimi is my IG handle. And I'm still on old school Facebook under Bernadette Ambubuyog.
awesome. Okay, again, thanks for coming on our show. It's been a pleasure having you on here and stuff. And come check out our gym, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.